Are you prepared to face Aranax? Then it is time. May your gods accompany you to the other side and help you to stop Aranax.
Show those bastards, I mean, good hit, sir.
I've never seen such a skillful blow. I've never seen such a skillful blow.
What is it that you want of me?
How may I? Wow, I've never seen such a skillful blow.
That's the way to show those bastards. I mean, good hit, sir. What is it that you want of me?
How may...
What is it that you want of me?
Yes? What is it? Your presumption is correct. And who might I... Well, what brings you to my corner of oblivion? Interesting. And just what is it that you are going to stop me from doing? I have so many things on my social calendar these days, it is difficult to know which you are making reference to in particular. You will not permit me? How droll. You really have absolutely no idea what you are involved with here, do you? That is a feeling I have much familiarity with. Sometimes I feel that my fate was decreed from an early age. Do not misunderstand me. I take full responsibility for my actions. Though, how are one's actions determined, really? How is our view of the world shaped? Mine was shaped by arguably the most powerful individual in the world, my father. He raised me on tales of the righteous superiority of the elves and the destiny that brought us to rule over all the races. What did he expect? He shoved a young, immature, and inexperienced fool into a position of immense power and set me loose on the world. Why didn't he stop me? He should have stopped me. Most certainly. I have had 2,000 years of my grievous errors and judgment replaying themselves in my mind. One tends to grow a bit of a conscience in all that time. What you do or do not believe is of no concern to me, my friend. You fool! You think this is my protection? This is my prison! I've been trapped inside this shell for nearly 2,000 years! I assure you, it is not a light-hearted jest, though I wish that it were. I have been trapped here since soon after I was banished to this realm. This is Kurgan's doing. When I first came here and realized what he was becoming, I attempted to stop him. Our battle was intense, yet brief. As you can see, I was not the victor. He wasn't powerful enough. He held me with this binding magic when I was regenerating. It looked as if I was correct as to the effects of his experimentation, though. His dark magics have transformed him hideously, in body and spirit. Nothing, strangely enough. He went quietly to his fate. I wouldn't attribute his attitude to cowardice. He was resigned to his fate. Somewhat like me, he would not change his course or compromise his beliefs, regardless of the inevitable outcome. His brilliance was such that I don't think any of us understood what was going through his mind, actually. Fascination would be a more appropriate term. I am intrigued by the workings of his brilliant, twisted mind. Have no doubt, though, I would destroy him without a second thought, were the opportunity to present itself. Being that I am trapped in here, my opportunities to get information are, shall we say, a bit limited. On the rare occasion Kurgan has deigned to visit me to play his intellectual games, he has dropped some veiled clues that might make sense in light of what you've told me. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say Kurgan is impersonating me. It sounds as if these dark elves you mentioned have patterned themselves after the misguided philosophy of my youth. They are proving to be powerful allies in his quest to return to Arcanum, it seems. I doubt they would be willing to help Kurgan the Terrible return to exact his revenge. That would appear to be the case. If you were able to facilitate my release from this prison, it would be my pleasure to help you destroy Kurgan. I'm not saying it will be easy to defeat Kurgan. In fact, the attempt might be fatal. Yet, I believe it worth the risk. We cannot let him return to Arcanum. It would mean the end of all life there. I have a few acquaintances on this side that may be interested in helping us as well, should you succeed in releasing me. You have more you wish to speak to me about? What is it that you wish of me, then? When I first came here and realized what he was becoming, I attempted to stop him. Our battle was intense, yet brief. As you can see, I was... What is it that you wish of me, then? That is the great shame of my life. After I had convinced the Council to banish Kurgan, I felt I could do no wrong. When Vendigroth laughed off my warnings, I felt they needed a display of my power. In destroying one of their factories, when they began constructing their device to protect themselves from my unprovoked attacks, I lashed out without thinking and destroyed them all. My fear of what technology could bring was so pervasive, I never thought... By the gods! That could be just the thing we need to defeat Kurgan. You must release me from here so that he may be stopped. I'm afraid I do not know. I do not believe Kurgan could maintain this from a distance, so there must be something near here. What is it that you wish of me, then? I'm afraid I do not know. What is it that you wish of me, then? I could not... What is it that you... I could not concur more vigorously. If you would facilitate my release from my prison, You have more you wish...
How may I help you? How may I help you?
What is it?
How may I? How may I help you? How may I help? I've been badly wounded. Please, my friend, I need healing. How may I?
What is it that you want?
I've never seen such a skillful blow.
What is it that you want?
I've never seen such a skillful hand. I've never seen such a skillful hand. How may I help you?
Greetings. Long have I waited for your arrival, and finally this moment has come. I am Kurgan, first of the Necromancers, voyager in the lands of the dead. I would think not. Although I know that you've already spoken with Aranax, so you probably know much of my tale. Tell me, what do you think of what has transpired? My life, in the world you call Arcanum, seems so very distant. The memories clouded like those of a child. Yes, look at me. And what do you see? A monster? An abomination? You've no idea what I've discovered. In your world, your Arcanum, I was powerful. Perhaps the most powerful human magicka. This place, this void, has no time as you know it. I've been here for more than 2,000 of your years, and yet I've aged not at all. I feel as I did the moment they sent me here, or as when the Dark Elves first called to me. Do you now see? Here I can do everything I did in your world. But I am unfettered by the chains of mortality that time hangs upon us. I truly wish I could. My reasons for returning aren't what you'd think. I had no aspirations for power or domination like your companion Aranax did. Aspirations that I became the victim of. If only I could show you the places I've seen, you might understand the things I say. I've been to the desolate lands, wandered by those souls who still see the lands of the living, but wear the cloak of the dead. Blind to their own ends, they cry, passing through one another like shadows in the dying light of day. I've traveled to where souls rot in torment, pierced with the jagged shards of life and vision, clinging to memory, regrets of the flesh. I saw that this prison was of their own making, and the key was in unknowing, in release. And still, I traveled on. And finally, I came to the place where souls go to die, where the mirrored and worn spirits fall into an endless sea of gray, mirrored glass. And I lowered myself within, and lay there among them, and I almost did not return. And do you know what I found there? There, among the silent and battered shells of the innumerable? Peace, enlightenment, truth. Only then did I realize that this place, this life, is an abomination, a horrible distortion of the natural order. This life, who mothered pain and fear and envy, these twisted children who exist only because we are here to feed them, to nourish them. This life, this afterthought, a disturbance, a mere ripple in that great, dead sea, not even the cause, but merely an effect, sending these souls upward, screaming for release from the day they are torn from their waters. The effect of what? I do not know, nor do I care. Have you ever spoken with the dead? Called to them from this side? Pulled them from their silent rest? Do you know what it is that they feel? Pain. Pain when torn into this wakefulness. This reminder of the chaos from which they had escaped. Pain at having to live. There will be no more pain. There will be no more chaos. I see your soul, traveler. It screams, tattered and spent. Do you feel its pull? Do you hear its wailing? It is within my power to calm these waters, and that is what I shall do.
Hold on a moment. Might I speak with you? What he is saying, it's not completely untrue. I've seen the places he speaks of, felt the peace and serenity of that great Dead Sea. It's not something I'll ever forget. Of course not. I made my choice a long time ago, and I choose to stand with you. Yes, there is pain in life, pain and loss and sorrow, but there is also joy and the pleasures of growing and learning. You can't have one without the other, and I wouldn't want to sacrifice either. But in the end, I stand with you, whatever your choice.
I can no longer tolerate the atrocities that this life has brought about. There will be peace. There will be quiet. Life will no longer be. And so I go to Arcanum to be an end to it. And then I will join the souls of the dead when it is done. Am I? It all depends on your point of view. Take yourself, for example. You've been told from the beginning of your adventure that you're the second coming of Nasruddin, the return of the living one. Do you believe it? As well you should. There are no prophecies. It's just the nature of living things to want to conform their existence to a foreseeable pattern, to attempt to exert control over the chaos that surrounds them. Life by its very nature disallows this. Life is an accident, the result of random chance. Therefore, its nature can be. There are those who would look at all that has happened to you, and then look at you, and call you a madman for not believing in the prophecy. Your opinion is based on what you have seen, what you know. My perceptions on the nature of life and death are no different. That only bothers you because you see your creation as the natural order of things. I've told you it's only the effect of a meddler, the incoherent scribblings of a child. It's not meant to be. Very well. I will send you to that great dead sea, and then
Seriously good, sir. Please help me.
Greeting. I would think not. This place, this void. If only I could.
What he...
I can no longer. Am I? It all depends on your point of view. Take yourself, for example. You as well. There are those that only. And why not? I realize that you follow the way of the righteous, or at least that's the role you've decided to play. Very well. I shall send you to that great Dead Sea, and then you shall know.
Cumbria, under the continued leadership of King Praetor, fell even further into decay. After his death, Durnon crumbled into obscurity, and Cumbria was eventually swallowed by the unified kingdom. By convincing the mayor of Blackroot to rejoin Cumbria, Hugh sealed the fate of the town. As for the rest of Cumbria, Blackroot suffered under the inept leadership of King Praetor, and eventually it disappeared altogether. Upon returning to Arcanum, Aranax buried his father on the Isle of Thanatos. Later he traveled to the Vendigroth Wastes, and there used his powers and single-handedly raised the city from the ruins it had become. Vendigroth again became a place of awe and wonder.